right, welcome back to the Modern Day Way podcast. I got Josh Ogilvie with me here today. I'm excited to have him on, get to know him a little bit better. Y'all are going to get to know him if you don't know him already. Number one Porsche dealer in St. Louis.
Only Porsche dealership in St. Louis.
Only Porsche dealership in St. Louis.
Number one sales guy.
Okay. How'd you get there?
That's a good question. I think I've been there, it'll be 5 years this year. I don't know, I think a few things, hard work. I've been selling cars since I was 17. I sucked at it when I was younger. I think it took kind of resetting my life, myself. I moved to America 5 years ago, so kind of maybe the accent helps, I don't know. But I think in multiple things, accent, productivity, and just generally, I think the great thing about Porsche and Ferrari, the two brands I work for, it's really not a selling aspect. Sometimes it is, but more so I think it's more of a consultation basis. Like, you know, when you're selling your high-end homes and people that, you know, people sometimes need a house, but most people when they want to have an upgrade or want to go for extras, they don't know what they want. Kind of like that with a lot of my clients. So I just got to figure out what it is that makes them tick and how to put it together. So that consultation aspect, I think I kind of focus on more so than beating someone into a car. I don't think that makes
solving
sense.
problems.
Solving problems, bringing solutions.
People look at sales and they point at like, oh, that's sales, right? Just sales, right? No, you're a problem solver ultimately, right? And you get to solve people's problems for a living.
For sure. I think, and absolutely. I think, you know, when you... The rap of a car salesman or a real estate agent, you know, we don't have the best of reps. We're just money hungry jerks. And I think it's nice where I work for a brand where that's not the motive of why we do what we do. I mean, if you're walking into a car dealership, like a Honda, no disrespect, like Honda, Chevrolet, Ford, you need a car. Whereas Porsche, it's like, okay, I want this car. So just, I don't feel like I'm a car salesman. I am, but I don't feel like I am.
Have you sold cars at any other dealerships other than like luxury? Yeah,
I worked at Suntrip Used Cars for a month or two. That was interesting. I'll leave it at that. And then in England, I worked at Mazda for a few years, and then Mercedes-Benz. And I started off with a brand that you guys don't have here in America, which is Renault and Skoda. Skoda's part of VAG Group. Renault is just a French brand. Don't even know what they're part of. But yeah, so that's where I started.
What does the car sales like dealerships look like from like the United States versus back home? Like what's the difference?
Good question. I feel like in England it's much more, in inverted commas, slower paced. So for example, you buy a car in England, you do all the negotiating XYZ. There's not really that much negotiating. It's not like America where you can get like thousands of dollars off a car. So that was a new thing, but you can negotiate a little bit. You basically put a deposit on the car, buy the car, then you come back and pick it up a few days later. It's not done there and then right now, or spot deliveries is what you call them in America. So it gives you some time to make the pickup process really nice, like bows and flowers, and you just make a day about them. I think that's a really cool aspect. On the flip side of it, in that few days, if that was in America, people would just be capitalizing on that and just be like, how much money can I get off? Let me call some of the dealerships. Whereas in England, you just pick it up a few days later. Now, America, you sell a car, you pick it up that day. It's ready for you. You drive off. But then you spend 5 hours in a dealership. In England, you do the paperwork, you sign it, and then you go home. It's an hour. And then you come pick up the car and it's an hour. It's just the process is much smoother and easier, in my opinion.
Interesting. So you would say the process is smoother over there than it is here?
I think so. It's different culturally. Like, you Americans, you're like, I want it now. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
I want it right now. Done. And that's great. That's awesome. That's why there's some of the most successful businesses are in America. Whereas in England, I feel like we're a little more docile. It's like, okay, I bought this car. I'm cool. I'm fine. I can take a breather. I'm going to go pick it up. I bought it on Monday. I'm going to go pick it up on Thursday. And no one bats an eyelid. It's just different. I think there's aspects that work really well in the American way of doing it. I think there's aspects that work really well in the English version of it, and I think, or European, or however you want to say it. And I think merging the two has been super helpful as well. So it's cool.
Yeah, super cool. If there's anything I know about you is that you hustle like crazy and you know how to serve, right?
I try.
And I mean, that just goes right into your, field, right? And it's probably the main reason why you're crushing it, is because you like to serve your clients, right? You look and you search for that deal for them. I feel like in luxury vehicles, you go out and you got to find that car that you have a client that really wants. Is that the case?
Yeah. I mean, just last week I had a client that I've sold multiple cars to, and just on the off chance that he was interested, I shot him a car and I said, hey, and this is like a $260,000 car. I said, hey, why don't we go take a look at this? He's like, can you bring it to me? I was like, yeah, why not? Took it up to him, ended up closing the deal. Mm-hmm. And that's the great thing about it, is you have a lot of these clients that just, budget isn't really a thing. Not that we want to take advantage of the fact that they're willing to spend money, but he 2 years ago was like, look, if you get a manual GT3 in, let me know. Well, guess what I did? I got a manual GT3 in, and I let him know 2 years later. Now, he's bought multiple cars with me in the interim. What I'm saying is, I remember that conversation we had, and I just shot him a text. Anyway, I'm going to make an X amount of thousands in commission, which is great. And, like you said, it's not just that. The serving aspect of it is so key in any kind of luxury sales, whether it's Gucci, whether it's, Louis Vuitton. Like, I would say Porsche is more of a brand than a car brand. Mm-hmm. It's all about that. I have clients that will text me at 11 o'clock at night and say, my wife got a flat tire, can you help out? Absolutely, I can do that. Because you know what happens when they need another car? Hey, Josh, I need another car for my daughter. I'm after a Ford. I'm after a Honda, whatever. Well, then I'm your car guy. I don't just become Josh, the Porsche salesperson. I become Josh, your car guy. You have a problem with service, I put you in the right place. You have a problem with detail, I put you in the right place. And then you just go to the person who is, okay, well, I know Josh will help me out with this. And sometimes you make some money on it and sometimes you don't. I think a lot of salespeople just have that mentality and mind frame, like, what can I get out of this? Mm-hmm. Like, how much can I get paid for this? I would say probably 50% of the stuff I do in my dealership, I get paid for.
It's about lifelong relationships, right?
Lifelong relationships.
Serving people through the process and after the process, right? The minute that conversation happens, right, and they grant you with a request, right, that's when the service starts. And I think it's the same way for me with real estate, right? When I've got a client that wants to buy a house, they might say, hey, Sam, we're a couple of years out, but I got a house I want to buy, right, eventually. Right. And at that moment, they go onto a list of mine, right? And on that list, I've got the details of the house they want. And every single day, I spend about an hour looking for properties for all my clients, right, and pull it off of that list. And I send anything over them, I check that criteria. And, I mean, I've got people backdated super far on that list. And so I feel like car salesmen don't treat it like that and are kind of shooting themselves in the foot in a way, huh?
Absolutely. And we forget that sometimes when we become complacent. So let's talk about COVID, right? Mm-hmm. That whole debacle.
A whole lot of fun.
A whole lot of fun for real estate agents, for car salespeople, for general salespeople. People were just buying, and it became easy, and we became order takers, and we got lazy, and we got complacent. Well, that's over now. Like, we haven't got people lining up out the door. We haven't got cars out the wazoo. We haven't got... Well, sorry, the opposite. We have got cars now that we're not struggling to sell, but we're realizing, okay, we need salespeople now, not order takers. Mm-hmm. I had a great 2 years. I had a great time through COVID. I made a load of money. Life is good. Well, now my job is getting harder because I have to find deals. They don't come to me anymore. I mean, some of them do, don't get me wrong. They don't come to me anymore. I have to go seek them. And again, going back to what we said earlier, are they going to go for the guy that actually wants to help and serve them? And when they have a problem, I'm there. It's not like, I'll call your service department. I see you later, commission paid, deal done, see you later. No, they're going to go for the guy that they know that is reliable, regardless of if it's service issues, detail issues, X, Y, Z. So, yeah, I mean, you just bought a car recently. How would you say your experience is buying a truck?
So I'm a deal junkie. You know that about me. I'm a deal junkie. I go
car
for...
salespeople hate real estate agents. Just want to say that.
I like to get it for cheap, and I like to sell it for high. What does that equal? A deal junkie.
Real estate agent.
So I found a Ford on a Toyota lot. And I found it for about $5,000 less than what I was going for on the Ford lots. And I kind of had this plan right in my back pocket, and it's still unfolding, right? So I went and bought that vehicle with the intention of trading it in at about 30,000 miles, knowing that I'd still break even at that time trading it into a Ford dealership. And then in turn, get a 100,000 mile warranty on that next Ford that I traded in with. And so that process was kind of funky because I'm always, negotiating. I'm always negotiating. And so I sat across the table from the guy for about 5 hours and just had my legs crossed and smiled. No, not really. Not 5 hours. Might have been 2 hours. Something like that. But, that's the kind of service I give my clients though too. I negotiate. That's kind of just, that's how I was bred, and so the process went all right, I would say. I mean, I definitely wasn't buying a Porsche and I wasn't using you, so it could have been a whole lot smoother,
Right. So I would say, put this into your mind frame. Okay, Lane. She wants a nice bag. Like let's say a Gucci bag.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk into the store, you're going to negotiate on that Gucci bag?
No way.
Okay, you've saved 10 years. And you're now at the time where, okay, I want my Porsche 911. I've saved up for it. I know I want it. Are you going to go in and negotiate? Realistically?
No.
Okay. And that's what we forget is that that's why the reason why I say Gucci and the reason why I say Louis Vuitton and Porsche is that's the mind frame. When you get to the end of the checkout at Schnucks and they say your grocery bill is $174, you say, look, I'll walk out with these groceries. I'll give you $150 max. It just doesn't work like that. And that's the mind frame we're trying to give when we sell Porsches and Ferraris. It's not, you don't want to, we'll do a deal, don't get me wrong, but it's not that kind of brand. But then we've got to warrant that. When you go into Schnucks and you ask someone for help, what happens? You get help. Where's this? Oh, it's Isle Hill, let me take it to you. And that's the kind of mind frame that Porsche are instilling in us, that when someone calls us and wants something from us, we're there to help.
Well, it's so much different than going to a Ford lot or a Toyota lot, right?
Correct.
I wouldn't go up to a Porsche dealer and be like, hey, man, can I get that for $10,000 less than what you're offering it for me for? And probably not, right?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you are, like, my background is in high volume sales. High volume, not luxurious. Now, I had an experience like with Mercedes-Benz, but I came from a Mazda dealership where it was, let's just negotiate, let's get it sold, let's move on to the next one. So I had to flip that. I had to flip that mind frame. And I think, going back to, again, we kind of waffled, but your initial question of what you think is, it's changing my mind frame that it's not just a sales job. Now, there's aspects of selling, but my sale is my service. There's that stupid meme video that's service is selling, and selling is, have you seen that?
Yes.
Right, okay. Yeah, and it's true. Service is selling, and that's the whole point of it. When you get, like, if you have a client that's in $1 million budget, you're not going to look for a $1.5 million house that you try and negotiate. You may do, but I'm just saying, like, those kind of clients, it's just, you just got to make sure you look after them.
Absolutely. And so for me, I was a server in a couple of restaurants, right? Before I ever got into sales, before I graduated from college. I mean, even in high school, I worked over at Rooster on South Grand for a couple of years serving tables. And
Rooster's fire, by the way.
Oh, it's awesome.
So
the crepes, chicken crepes.
Shout out to Rooster.
Yeah, shout out to Rooster. Chicken crepes are awesome.
Chicken crepes.
John Cooper, that's my guy.
JC.
Head bartender over there. Yeah, shout out to John. But,
JC.
Yeah, okay. So looping it back in. Real estate, high-end sales, right? It's a service position, right? You're serving your client, your customer, whatever you want to call it, the best way possible, right? And then it's not about that one sale, right? It's about the sales to come. It's about the relationship you're building. And if you can't fully wrap your mind around that, you're going to be just checking off deals off the list, but you're not going to be the highest or the best ever, right? Because you're not going to get that, referral business. You're not going to get the rebound business that you could get, right? If you would have taken the time and energy that it takes to be the best, right? And so I really do feel like luxury car sales, I mean, anything where you have a higher ticket, price on something is going to be kind of similar in that sales.
I mean, field. If I'm selling 12, 13, 14 million dollars worth of car a year, it's a big responsibility. I mean, it's probably undershooting it, but I'm just lucky. Like, I'm blessed. Like, every day I think, like, I get to, and I feel like such a jerk. Like, some of my clients' kids and friends' kids, like, come into the dealership and check things out, and they'll sit in a Ferrari, like 488 that I've done a million times. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh my gosh, I've never sat in a Ferrari before. And I'm like, wait, I just take it so for granted, the position I'm in. And I'm so lucky. And like I said, like, I just love my job. It sucks sometimes, but I love it overall. I love my clients. I love the dealership. And I think, it's given me some opportunities that I would never have had if I wasn't there. So I think that again puts me in a position where I feel like that's the least I could do is work hard to represent my dealership and my dealership group well.
Absolutely. And I love hearing it when people say they love their job, right? Like you get to do something. You get to wake up in the morning, right, and go and do something that you love to do.
Right.
That's unique.
Yeah. I get people calling me who I never would have thought I would have ever been able to talk to, you know, CEOs and COOs and influencers, whoever. And I say that not to be like, oh, I'm going to name drop. I'm saying that in the sense of like, I'm just so lucky that I can get on the phone, call someone and have a 20-minute conversation with someone who's so hard to get hold of. It's a great, it's awesome. I'm very, very lucky.
The relationships you get to build, the people you get to even learn from, right? I mean, those people you wouldn't have met if it wasn't for that, right? And then you get to in turn take that relationship, nurture it, work together, and grow together ultimately, right? That's super cool, super unique.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely.
That's awesome. So, what would you say? What's your goal this year?
My goal this year. That's a good question. I think my goal this year, I think one of the main goals I have this year is just getting healthier. With my accident I had last year, it's been tough. It's been kind of getting to know a whole new body, whole new lifestyle, everything changed last year. So kind of readjusting, coming into land. I made some bad decisions, poor decisions, and I think learning from that and taking that and really nurturing that to grow into something good. We all have a mess. We all have messy lives. We all make bad decisions, and your choices. Are you going to sit there and feel sorry for yourself about it? I think I did for a bit. I was like, oh my gosh, woe is me. My life is so terrible. Like, get a grip, dude. Like, it's tough. It's okay to not be okay. But let's push forward and let's figure out, okay, what did I do there and what can I learn from? Because we all, as humans, we blame everyone else for everything we do. Like, I made poor decisions. I did stupid stuff, and we got to learn from it and move on. But what mistakes did I make that I don't have to make again? I probably will do because I'm human, but I don't have to do it. What guys can I have around me, like you, Connor, like to sit there and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, all from love. We were driving around a few Sundays ago, and like, it's all love. Like,
every time.
I don't want to see you fail. I will fail. Just like you'll fail, we'll all fail. But like, we got people beside us to pick us up and make us move on. So I say physically more healthy, mentally more healthy, spiritually more healthy. That's probably what I'd say.
Beautiful.
Just a change in health. And I haven't done a very good job of being healthy. I was drinking way too much at the start of this year and just having too much partying fun. And, I'm suffering for it now. I've damaged my back more. I've damaged my neck more. And who can I blame?
Yeah. Let's elaborate a little bit on that accident you had. I mean, that was a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, so it's, long story short, I got hit by a FedEx truck on the highway. I got dragged down the highway for half a mile with a client in the car. Thankfully, I wasn't driving. The most amazing thing is I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to be walking. And it's, both of us are, me and my client, and it sucks. But yeah, it's, and I would, yeah. It was I mean, seeing the way that you've rebounded too, and I mean, having this conversation with you right now, I mean, even looking back like 6 months ago, right?
Like where your head's at now, right? I mean, you took that and you said, hey, that sucks, right? And then you had a little pity party for a little bit, right? Just a little bit, it was nothing crazy, right? But
I drank my sorrows away. Have a beer, everyone.
Just every once in a while, right? But I mean, you're coming out on the other side of that. I mean, a better man.
Oh,
right?
I think so.
I'm
getting there.
Yeah.
I'm not better yet, but I'm getting there for sure.
The gas tank, right? It's filling back up, baby.
I hope so.
You're getting there.
We're getting there, baby. We were on empty and just sputtering along. And,
dude, how many places did you break your back?
Well, I had 2 herniations in my lower back, and I had 2 herniations in my neck, and I had the lower back fixed, and I have 4 herniations in my neck, and then there's the disc above my surgery site is herniated. Because I just didn't look after it.
And you have like a sword in your back too.
I got a little big old titanium rod and disc replacement. So this year I'm due to have disc replacement surgery, 4 levels in my neck. So and like, dude, the first thing people ask me, like, oh my gosh, you got hit by a FedEx truck? You got money coming. I don't care about the money.
Not even a little bit.
If FedEx turned around and said, hey, here's $12 million, I'll burn it and you can have your health back. Well, I'd throw it on the fire straight away.
Every time.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And like, you get caught up in this idea of, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be set for life. Like, no, I'm not. My life is ruined because of this. Like when you're 50 and you got your grandkids over, you're going to be running around the yard with them, throwing them around. I'm going to be sat there thinking, okay, well, what do I need to do? I need to be careful. I can never go skiing again. Can't play rugby again. Can't box. I mean, I would never play rugby again because it would just be too dangerous. Box again, maybe. Would I competitively box again? No, absolutely not. So it's and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's changed the whole trajectory. And I said earlier, like, my whole life changed. Like, I've got to redefine my whole life now. Like, you know, I had a goal, I had a plan, that all got taken away. Well, what do I do now? So that's why I was having that pity party. Like, okay, do I drink too much? Do I get involved with the party scene and just drink my sorrows away? Well, I tried that and it didn't work. So now, what do I do?
Yeah, you take that, right, and you learn from it, and you take what you've learned from it, and you give it to other people. Right. And I know that's what you're going to do with it. Absolutely. You're going to take what you did, you know, or what happened to you, right, and the way you reacted to it and the time that spent and the healing that you had to have in order to get to where you're going to be, right? And you're going to take what you had there, and you're going to pass it on to other people, and what happened to you is going to positively affect who knows how many people.
I hope so. So. I mean, the more people know that it's okay to not be okay, it's okay to mess up, it's okay to make mistakes. Like, you know, the grace of God is an amazing thing. And I think we forget as, you know, churchgoers and congregations and, you know, the church is there for the broken people. The church is there. We're there to love people. Like, our church is come as you are. Like, I was messy. I came as I was, and it was horrible and messy, but I was loved through it, and I was respected through it. I was let go when I needed to be let go. I was pulled back in when I needed to be pulled back in. And I think that a lot of people, again, if like people listen to this and sat there thinking, oh, I want to go to church because I want to be judged. Don't judge your church experience on a group of fallen people. Like, Jesus loves you regardless of what you've done, no matter what mistakes you make, and will continue to make, because I still make mistakes.
Human.
But what I can
you
do
are
is,
human.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And loving those people well. And, you know, there's going to be people you look at that are like, I've backslid 3 times now. Like, I've come back and two and forward. And my biggest problem every time was when I started going back to church was feeling judged and, oh, no one wants Josh around. No one wants this. No one wants that. No one wants that. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. I mean, maybe some churches. I'm not going to say
not our church,
but not our church. Yeah, dude, it's incredible. And I would say what our church does really well. It is not about the Sunday mornings. It's not about going to church and lifting your hands up and praying on Sunday mornings. It's about the midweek. Like, when are the guys getting together? When are the girls getting together? When are the families getting together? It's community. And I've had people let me down who I didn't think would ever let me down. And I've people step up who I never thought would step up. But it all balances out. And like you said, I would just love to be a guy that can sit there and support other people through their mess. Like, turning my mess into a message is what I want to do.
The mess into a message. That's beautiful.
I'm going to go home now. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
But no, like, on a serious note, like, life sucks. It's hard for everyone. You may look at us, you may look at me and be like, oh, #1 Porsche sales guy. Like, oh, mate, it's making so much money. Like, life sucks. It's hard. It's tough. You know, I go to bed in pain every morning, and I wake up in pain every morning. I got to sit there, and the aspects of life that are tough, you just got to keep going. Make sure you got a good group of people around you, and no matter how much you push those people away, which I've done, I'm sure you and Connor can attest to that, they'll stick by you. You know what I mean? Like, we are guys these days, we struggle, and I don't think people realize that as much as they do.
Absolutely. I think it's overlooked so much. I mean, yeah, it is. People think that guys are just tough, right? They're tough. They'll just get through it, you know, whatever it may be. But it's, you know, this is a fallen world, right? We're not in heaven, you know, that's for sure, right? And anybody who looks at like we are, I mean, that's just ignorance, right?
Like, you know, family's always been a tough one for me, in the sense of I never felt accepted. Regardless of if it's biological family, adopted family, my own relationships, you know, you always feel that like everything just goes well. There's a lot of people who've stayed as well. And like, reassure those around you. Like, if you are feeling that your husband or wife is being distant, well, there's probably a reason for that. Like, talking is fine. Saying this is not cool is fine. But work at it, fix it, make sure it's okay. Like, I remember Connor was like, dude, what are you doing? You're being an idiot. I was like, oh, no, I didn't. What? But he stood with me, and we're working through it. We're working just like yourself. We're working through it. Like, we've had a pretty similar upbringing and a pretty similar life, and you know, it is what it is. We messed up. We know we messed up, and we just gotta keep going. And look at you now. Like, you're married. You got a kid on the way. Jeez, let's pray for Lane. But like, that's gonna be awesome.
1 month away.
1 month away.
1 month away.
It's madness. And you know, it's been such a blessing seeing other people succeed where I have failed. It's not even a jealousy aspect. It's just so nice to see people's marriages work and babies coming into the world and not getting wrapped up in the jealousy of, oh, my life didn't work. Like, no, it's awesome to see that, because that's what I want to be. I want to be a husband one day, and I want to be a father one day, but I got stuff I need to work on and sort out before I take that step.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the beauty behind it, right? Is being able to focus on what can I do, right, to make myself better every day.
Right.
What can I do?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know, I had like, we look at us as men, we look at like, I need to fix everything now. Like, everything needs to be sorted out. Like, I need to stop doing this, I need to start doing that, I need to start doing this. Like, just take one thing at a time. One step at a time, little baby step. Because you know, if you take one step in the right direction, you're still going in the right direction. And then comparison is a killer, dude. Like, I look at you and I'm like, dang, he's got his stuff together, he knows what he's doing. I'm just here selling cars, and like, I forget that people look
coming
up to me.
from the number one Porsche salesman.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I forget, is people look at me and think, oh my gosh, like, Josh is doing super well. Like, comparison is an absolute killer. Like, I look at, I don't know.
One of the things I love about you is that, you know, you could make $100,000 in a month and you wouldn't even look at it like, you're focused on things that aren't money, right? No. And that's one of the reasons why you're so successful, right? Is because you don't look at the paycheck, right? You look at the person, right? And that's so important. And that's we try to do it every day, right? You should be, if you're in any kind of sales and you're not looking at the person, you're looking at the paycheck, you're doing your job wrong. Completely. And you shouldn't be in that sales position at all. You need to go find a different job. Your why is not where it needs to be, but that's not you at all, right? You look at the people around you and you say, I love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. How can I love you best? Right.
I think where I fell, a biggest part of where I fell, is that even though I didn't look at my clients as dollar signs, I looked at my accounts and everything I was doing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to buy Rolexes, I'm going to buy all this stuff, and I'm going to go crazy. And I wasted a crap ton of money. And, you know, money isn't ours. We're just stewards of what the Lord blesses us with. And I forgot that massively. I forgot that. Absolutely. Again, accountability from my friends. That's what you do. Pull your brother up, like, dude, you're spending way too much money. Like, where is it gone? Why I drank it away? You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. It's just absolute idiocracy. But yeah, it's, why am I saying that? I got lost in my own thoughts. Anyway, made good bars are great.
Okay, so an intermission for made good bars, granola bar, mixed berries, happy, fit, healthy, and well.
Dedicated facility free from the following common allergies.
Heels backs.
Give me some more.
I'll take as many as I can get.
And yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm waffling. I'm just so passionate about, you know, I'm 30 years old and I had to push the reset, and it's hard, like, getting back out on the meeting people scene, and I don't really want to meet anyone. I'm just like, what am I doing? I want to, and just supporting other people through that. Like, it's, yeah.
I don't know if I'd say reset's the right word. I would say pushing forward. Right. Like, you're moving forward through this, right? You reset and it's like, oh, it's done. It's just restarted. It's, you know, whatever. We'll just play again. Right. When you push through something and you learn from it, right? And you look back at it and you're not going to make that same mistake again because you're way too smart to do that. Right. You know? I think so. Yeah. No, I know you look at a failure, right? And you're like, okay, cool. Right. That whatever that was, right? I'm not going to do that again. Right. And it's like, you look at other people's failures too, and you're like, okay, cool. I can learn from that. Right.
You gotta keep it in. It's great. What would you say your goals are for this year? Hearing what I have to say, like, what are your goals? Obviously, baby coming. We know that. So my goals for this year were pretty broad, I would say. I mean, having our first kid, that was obviously one big goal that we set last year that we wanted to have happen in 2024. And so it's happening, and we're super excited for that. I said, whenever I got into the industry I was in, or I'm in right now, real estate, right? It was to
double the amount of people that I can serve every year.
Dang.
Right. And so far, since I've gotten into the industry, I've successfully done that.
Nice.
I have doubled. And then this year, I'm looking at my last year's sales and I'm like, I got to sell a ton of houses to be able to double what I did last year. And so I'm kind of at this phase where it's like, do I totally dive into that goal? Because I've got a number in mind, right? For the amount we want to do 100 some.
36.
30, oh, 36. Okay. Well, wrong side of the bed. But I don't know. I can't find it. But my goals, I would say, man, I want to serve as many people as possible, ultimately, right? I want to be able to affect as many lives as I can and get people to where they want to be, right? And if they give me a job to do, I want to be able to do well by them, right? And serve them the best way possible. And so just continuing that goal that I had when I got into the industry. And obviously I've got goals for my faith. I've got goals for my marriage. I've got goals for our house, right? Different things like that. I'm not going to dive into all of those, but I think we should really categorize our life in different sections, right? Those being faith, family, work. So finances.
Faith, family, finances.
Faith, family, and finances, right? Those kind of three. Right. And if you really,
F's.
yeah. Oh, and fitness. Yeah. And fitness, right? Oh, I forgot fitness, right? That's a bad sign. That's why I'm getting all skinny.
Dude, I put on so much weight.
Dude, whenever I stop working out, I stop eating as much and then I lose weight. It's like I don't know, whatever. Yep. Maybe that'll probably change in the future. Who knows? But,
eat made good bars. They make you skinny. No, that's not true.
Depends on if you have 4 of them, you know.
I've had 3 already. So.
Yeah. So those 4, right, main categories. So faith,
fitness,
family, finances, and fitness.
Faith,
kind of in that order for me, right?
Faith. So faith is first.
I would say your faith should be first, right? If you claim to be, a Christian, right? Or whatever religion that you might be in, right? And that's who made you and put you on this world to do what you're supposed to do. Right. Then if you don't categorize that in your first, goal, then how is that going to affect the rest of your goals? Right. Because that's supposed to be leading your steps. Right. So how am I supposed to give my wife the best marriage possible if I'm not getting guided, right? And pointed in a direction that's going to be, something that I can follow? Because if I just chose every single different direction I was going to go, I would have royally screwed up my life. I mean, when I was doing that before, I did royally screw up my life. I mean, I went to jail 3 times before moving back to St. Louis. Yeah, I had multiple different charges, felony, different things that were not me, who I am today, right? Whenever I came back and I really felt pulled on by Christ, right, at that time, and reset my life, right? Prayed a bunch, moved back to St. Louis, met my wife.
Nice.
A month later.
Shout out to Lane.
Yeah, shout out to Lane. Yeah. But it's got to keep you rooted, right? And that's the big one for me.
So as your brother, how can I support you through those goals?
Dude.
Damn.
Accountability, right? Yeah. If you're not keeping your brothers accountable, then I don't know if you're really brothers.
True. That's
right.
Fair, yeah.
And that can be in every single different category. I think that there's not enough accountability in this world. I pay business coaches to keep me accountable. Right. Because everybody needs to have accountability. The most dedicated, most focused people are going to hold themselves super accountable. But I guarantee you talk to those people and they still have people that they have asked to hold them accountable as well.
True.
Right. Because we can't all do it by ourselves.
It's like leadership in our church. All of our cell leaders, core cell leaders are all discipled by someone else who then discipled by... There's no top of the totem pole. Top of the totem pole is Jesus. God, whatever. But no one thinks they're better than anyone. Accountability comes when you're cross-referencing and you're coming together on the same playing field. You're not here and I'm here. So you're not here and I'm here. Both equal partners, we're brothers. When you're doing great, I'm doing great. When I'm doing bad, you're doing bad. But it's our job to pull each other out of that bull crap. And yeah, there's no, and I've definitely felt that with you guys. It's just, there's just such a genuine level of love and care that it's so hard to find these days because everyone's got an agenda. Everyone wants something from someone. Everyone needs something from someone. But someone that sits there at 4 a.m. and says, bro, let's go for a drive because you're struggling. That's a real bro. Someone that drives around with you on Sunday after church saying, hey, I see you're not doing good. Let's go look at some houses. No intention of doing nothing, but that's what you do. Because it's better for me to be sat in a truck with you looking at houses than going home and drinking myself silly. That's accountability.
We're still being silly.
We're always silly.
We're still being silly.
Dude, if anyone knows me and Sam, wait. It gets to the level where Sam and Lane walk up to us at church. Lane just carries on going at me, and Sam just sit there and make some sort of weird noise of some. Wait, go on,
some
Sam.
kind.
What noise is it? We sound like mating pigeons.
Alligators?
I
don't know.
We're doing so well.
But man, accountability is like, it's a beautiful thing that it's such a love-hate relationship that
it's a scarily beautiful thing.
It's a scarily beautiful thing, right? And it's such a strong piece to the puzzle.
It's like you gotta find like accountability. Like, for example, I go out last weekend, I take a load of drugs and drink a load of drink, and you say next week, Josh, how was last weekend? And I go, oh, it's fine. But that's not accountability. That's not friendship or brotherhood. If I said, man, I messed up, I took too many drugs, and I drank too much, how do I think my brother is going to respond to that? Like, bro, come on. But will you hate me?
No, I'm not going to hate you.
Right, exactly. I won't be angry, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah. Give me a ruler.
Yeah, come on. But the point is, like, I should be in a place where I'm comfortable to know I'm going to get in trouble, but in trouble from a place of love. And that's the, like, you know, I didn't have a great relationship with my dad growing up. Great guy, don't get me wrong. But I never had the loving side of it. I never had to sit down, let's talk about it, what's going wrong. I made all the mistakes on my own. I got reprimanded for the problems I created, but I just didn't get help through them. So I think, you know, us as guys who've been through stuff, we've got to step up and help this next generation, because the world is going to be a messy place. And like, I don't know if you can do a plug and be like, hey, if anyone's struggling, reach out to the Monday. Like, genuinely, like, if you're struggling or you're like, dude, I don't know what to do about this, and you don't have someone, we don't know you from Tom, Dick, or Harry. I'm just saying, like, we're here to help. Like, we don't arrogant enough to sit here and say our problems are together. And we're
absolutely.
I'm sure you can turn up at this office. We can have a coffee and we can talk and we can be there for you, and just know that you have people fighting your corner, even though we don't know who the heck you are. But what we want for everyone is success.
Doesn't matter. I don't know who most of the people are.
Josh, nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you as well. How can I help? Well, I mean, like, the amount of people who I'm able to have genuine conversations with that I don't really know all that well, right? But still able to help them through a stressful phase in life, whatever it may be, I'm honored, right? If I get that phone call, I'm the last thing that I am is upset, right? Or any type of, it's like, I'm honored to get that phone call because I want to help you.
And I want you to feel comfortable enough to sit here, and I don't care what you've done. I'm here. Let's walk through together. Let's make this. This mess is going to be hard to tidy up on your own. Let me help you. Let me support you. Let me guide you. Let me be there for you. And if you want me to pray for you, I'll pray for you. I'm not a very good prayer, but I'll do it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But it's just don't suffer in silence, man. I never feel like an inconvenience. Never suffer in silence. Things get hard. Life gets tough. We get lonely with guys. And girls, we all get lonely. We're here. I guess I'd like to say that. We're here.
Yeah.
I've had people support me who I didn't deserve to be supported by. And I would just like to...
Yeah. Support, man. Support and walking together. Right. That's the key.
Walking together. Journeying.
And not giving up.
I ain't got my stuff together, so don't think I'm sat here perfect and being like, hey... I'm going to guide you because I made it all the way through this. I'm still making stupid decisions. But I've got people keeping me accountable. I've got people asking me the tough questions. And I've got people saying, probably not a good idea. So, you know,
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you couple accountability with a work ethic, right? Like you have, and things happen.
Oh,
and so
absolutely.
That's the beauty of that too.
Beyond your wildest, like, did I think a year or two ago when we first started talking, like we were talking like, was it like 1 a.m. after having dinner at my house, and we were talking about getting this one property and revamping it, and then you were getting this job as managing these properties, and you're like, I'm gonna go into real estate, and then like a year later, I'm like, dude, this guy's smashing it, and it's so good. And like people like us, like I value relationship more over riches all day, every day. Now, there's been times in my life where I value riches over relationships, and guess where it got me? Absolutely freaking nowhere. So, relationship, and that's like, in being a boss or anything like that, you look after your staff, you make sure everyone's okay. All those people are just like life. You make sure your friends are okay. Well, then there's fruit in that. Like if you're beating on your friends and you're friggin' fighting with your colleagues, it's just not healthy or helpful. So like good environments breed good people. And good people bring out good outcomes. That's what we're gonna do. We forget that. Like
Yeah. I almost want you to say that again.
good. I can't remember what it said. Yeah. Good environments bring out good people. Good people bring out good results. And so it all ties in. You look after yourself, who looks after people, who looks after results. And that's whether it's in your friendship group, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your work, or things happen when you're in a good environment. If you're in a crappy environment, it's hard to grow anywhere. Like the parable of the sower, dude. When he threw his seeds on friggin' that's wherever, I don't even know it. Look it up, I don't know. But anyway, point is when you're planted in good soil, you grow well.
Yes. So you plant a seed and let it grow.
Yeah.
Right? You plant a seed on some rocks, it's not gonna grow.
You plant
right?
a seed in some fucking freaking weeds.
You bring that community, right? You get into that community is not holding you accountable for what you want to be held accountable for, right? And if it's for what you want to be held accountable for, because if you don't want to change, if you don't want it to happen in your life, it's not going to happen, right? Ever. And so you've got to bring it to them and be like, hey, dude, this is what I'm struggling with. This is what I need, right? And they're gonna help you out if they love you, right? So
This water's crispy.
Yeah, crispy. What kind of water is that?
This is Mountain Valley spring water, bottled in the
Bougie.
Whatever that says. Uchacha.
Little free publicity.
Mountains-USA. Net 33.8 FLOZ. Flaws.
Like the Porsche of waters.
I wouldn't say that.
No?
I think this is probably like the Audi
Oof.
of waters. Porsche of waters is Boss water or something like that. Like crisp straight from the glacier.
The glacier.
Glacier is my favorite. But yeah, no, it's been good. And I think just to circle, like just to go back onto what you said, accountability, it's irrelevant if you don't want to be held accountable. Like it's irrelevant if you want to hide away from your problems. It's irrelevant if you want to sit there and hey, I'm going to give you this much, but really this is everything I'm struggling with. Like you got to give it all. And you know what? If you get burned, sometimes some people will burn you, but you just find a group of people, find the person who you trust, and you'll make it through it.
Yeah, and they should, accept you with open arms. Right.
Yep.
Every time. Every time.
Yep.
Relationships. Right. How do you feel like you're able to build relationships with people that you meet? Right.
Be selfless in your knowledge. Ask questions, and the way that you figure people out or get to know people is by being genuinely interested in what they do. Like when we have conversations, like I can talk for England and I can talk about myself for hours and hours, just as we all can. But as soon as one of my clients walk in, that's that consultation part of it is, okay, tell me why that. Tell me about that. Like you're here, you want, okay, you look at it, new or used, cool. What are you after? SUVs. And that's the same with you in houses. Like, why is your budget 500? Or like, why is your budget 200? Like, oh, well, we were thinking X, Y, Z. Like, you can find out so much from asking questions. Like, tell me about you. Tell me what makes you tick. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. And I would say relationally, it's about the other person. And then vice versa, just like in a relationship and marriage, you're looking to serve the other person. Like, I want to help you. And I think that's a lot of sometimes when I spend hours with clients, like I'm talking 3-4 hours a day for 6 days, and oh well, thank you for your help, but we bought a car from elsewhere. Dude, like what are we doing? Like that sucks, but that is what it is. As long as I can sit there and say, okay, I did everything I could. I'll ask my clients the same thing if they leave not buying a car. Before they leave, hey Sam, I've got 3 questions to ask you. The first question I want to ask you is, are you leaving this dealership knowing more than when you first came in? Hopefully that's a yes. Second question, have I treated you well? Do you feel I've treated you with respect and well today? Yes, absolutely. And the third question, because it's a closing question, is there anything I can do to earn your business right now? And that's the point people get uncomfortable. because you're like, right now. And I'm like, guys, I'm not saying I'm beating you into a car. I'm just saying if you tell me no, it's no. There's nothing I can do. If you say, Josh, like, listen, if you could do another $1,000 off, I'd consider it. I have something to work with, but I've got to ask hard questions. And again, that's what I'm going to follow up with. Asking hard questions isn't a bad thing. Sometimes. Depending on the circumstance. But yeah, it's just asking questions and getting to know to round it off.
Yeah. Caring about them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been asked those 3 questions in a car dealer? You bought a car, right? Well, there you go. That makes sense. But yeah, those 3 questions are super key. And if you are a car salesperson listening to this, definitely, if you're not,
you could really take some notes from this guy. Yeah,
1 or 2. Ask those 3 questions, and uncomfort isn't always a bad thing. Uncomfort means growth, and closing is never easy. You know that.
I think for newer salespeople, quote unquote, right? That consultation is awkward for them, right? Getting through that hump, right?
Don't be like, but are you going to buy the car right now or not? Like, that's just stupid.
Do you want 2?
Do you want 2 or 3? 2 car. But saying, hey, is there anything I can do to earn your business right now? That's a perfectly fair question, especially if you've invested time. Doesn't mean they owe you anything. No one owes me anything. But as soon as you sign, and as soon as you sign that order form, I'm your guy. I am here to serve. I'm here to do that anyway. But I'm saying, like, know that I'm on your time. You're not on my time in the dealership. You're not on my watch. Like, I'm here to help and serve and help you buy a car.
Signing that paper starts the relationship, or was the relationship already started?
The relationship was already started.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying the signing of the paperwork, look, like, I'm taking it to the next level now. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
Not everyone's like that, so don't be fooled. Like, a lot of people don't really care anyway until you sign that paperwork, and they still don't care after you sign that paperwork. But I'm just, at least I have enough respect to sit there and be like, okay, actually, like, I get paid for selling cars, and you're actually putting money in my pocket, so the least I could do is treat you with a little more respect than I was already going to treat you with anyway. But
Yeah. We've got something kind of similar on the agent side of things. They call it a buyer's agency agreement, right? So if I'm going to go and hire, or someone's going to hire me, right, to be their agent, they're going to, a typical agent's going to make them sign something called the buyer's agency, right? That's going to lock them in, right? I don't make my buyers sign that ever. Right. And that's because I want them to want to work with me the entire time. I'm not locking them in at all. Right. I mean, I know the value that I bring. I hope you respect that value.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to lock you into anything.
No.
Right.
You want me?
I'm here to serve you.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And how many times do you think that's paid off?
A lot.
More than
a lot. Yes.
Right. Because how much of a jerk do you sound, hey, you need to sign this because then you're locked in with me? No, if you want to work with me, you want to work with me. Like, it's a blessing for anyone to walk into my dealership and want to buy a car. I'm just going to treat them with enough respect and due diligence to be able to put the deal together. That is my job. My job is to help you buy the car that is right for you. Your job is to help your client buy the house that is right for them. Because guess what's going to happen when they're out for dinner? Oh, you guys just bought a new house? Wait, whose car is that out the front? First thing they ask, where'd you buy it from? Oh, Porsche St. Louis, dude. Josh, Sam treated me so well, so refreshing. That's exactly what I want from every single transaction.
Every time.
Not, oh, Josh was a jerk. Now, I don't get it wrong. I don't get it right every time. I get it wrong sometimes, and I really pee people off. That's my bad. I can take that, and I can learn from it and move on from it and try and rectify it. But we're not perfect. People just clash sometimes, and that's the way it is. But then have the smarts about you to sit there and be like, hey, I don't think we're working. Let me go find someone who I think you'll get on road better. And it's no disrespect, absolutely fine. I wanted to buy a Porsche because I think it's the best brand ever. Here's XYZ. I think you should work with him because I think you'll have a better experience than working with me.
And that's still the best service.
Still the best service. And then do you know what they say? Dang, actually. And it's not, and the crazy thing is it's not even manipulative. Like, a lot of these car sales tactics, like, you hear about these stuff and, like, guys, if you're buying a car and you're reading these blogs online, don't do it that way. Like, if you want guidance and if you want consultation and if you want just someone steering you in the right direction, reach out to me. There's ways to do it that will make it way more beneficial, way easier for you, and in turn, easier for the dealership. The dealership isn't there to be screwed over. You're not there to be screwed over. You guys have got to find a point that's in the middle that works for the both of you. So.
Yeah. And I mean, why wouldn't you go to somebody who does it every day?
Right.
That kind of cracks me up, really, is because like you think you're going to do a better job at this, right? Than somebody who does it every single day. That's like if I walked into your job and tried to do that, right? I'm going to screw it up royally.
And like the funniest thing is when clients say to me, I have bought 32 cars in 60 years. Dude, I sold 32 cars last month. So I get it. I'm not being a jerk saying that. I get it. It's not. But I'm just saying, like, I get it. And you've had bad experiences, and I hear that. And I'm sorry that you had a bad experience, but let's start afresh, because I'm not that sales guy. I'm not that person. I'm not that dealership in Tennessee that, overcharged your grandmother by $4,063. Like, we're going to put this together. We're going to make it work, and you're going to have the best experience ever, but we got to work together to do that. Relationships are never one-sided. It's two people coming together. Same with selling. You probably find that the people that sit there, and I have dinner with so many people and my clients. I love it. I think it's great. Like, and no one can sit there and say that I have an ulterior motive, because I just love people. People are great. Some of them are assholes, but most people are great.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah.
But, dude, it's. I just want to give a shout out to First Form as well. Randomly, speaking of relationship. Oh, look, there you go. I bought a hoodie from them, and it came, what day is it today? It came Monday, and my first order from them, I was like, holy smokes. I'd reached out to them a few months ago just to say, hey, I had this back stuff. Do you have any idea of where I should go and what I should do? And they pointed me in the right direction. I was like, these guys don't owe me anything. Well, I ordered that stuff, and it came with a handwritten letter from one of the people there. And it clearly was just written on, and it was just written on the final invoice and said, hey, welcome to the family, blah, 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 blah. And then who I was on the phone to before this podcast was one of the guys from First Form who just called to say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you had all your stuff. Dude. Just wanted to connect with you. And I was like, holy smokes, like, I am missing something here. Like, First Form are the leaders. Like, if you never bought anything from First Form, just buy something just to see what they do, because it's just next level. And they have hundreds and thousands of orders coming in. And they knew that it was my first order, so that's how much attention they pay to their clients. I need to be doing a better job than I'm doing now to give better customer service. And I think I do a good job, but I don't do that good of a job. So, and the reason why I say that is a relationship. They strive on relationships.
It's a culture.
It's just one big culture. And why can't we bring that into the car market? I guarantee you, I've had really crappy car buying services. You've had really crappy car buying services. I know how the system works. So why can't we change that? There's got to be something that changes. So
Progressive. Right.
Progressive. But anyway, shout out to First Form, because I was like, oh, maybe I need to take a leaf out of their book.
I've noticed First Form a lot recently too, man. They've got a culture over there. It's admirable. It's super cool. Yeah. And you may sit there and be like, oh, it's a cult. It's just it's a genuine bunch of people wanting to do better for each other, which then leaks out into everything else. And yeah, they make money for it. Like, we're not all in non-profit businesses. It's great to see how well the For Sellers have done. It's phenomenal. And learn from them. Like, they've done something well, and they continue to do it. They haven't changed that from his first store. He still would write handwritten letters. Going on to multi-millions, billions. You can't make this stuff up.
Right.
You can't.
And I'm sat there thinking, I can't write a hand letter Christmas cards. 32 cards. Like, get a grip, Josh. Like, learn from the best and, like, adapt your way. Like, there's stuff I've learned from you. And I'm sure there's stuff that you've learned from me.
Absolutely.
And if this, again, back to accountability. Those people, you become like your 5 closest friends. So why not bring some good people around you? And that's why all the guys at First Form just do so well. Because they're all a bunch of dudes and girls, and let's not stereotype, I'm just saying, like a bunch of people who are pushing towards doing better, like watching their inspirational videos when they're all working out on the screen, like, come on, let's go. Why not have that in life? Like, you're calling me, Josh, I'm struggling closing this deal. Hey, have you tried this? Sam, I don't know what to do with this customer, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have the solution,
somebody does. And someone does. And make sure you have a good bunch of people around you to help you with that solution.
Exactly. So, you are your 5 closest friends.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Surround yourself by some studs. We're part of a similar community. We, are able to pour into each other all the time. Dude, and thanks for coming on, man. I had a blast. I always have fun when we hang out.
Yeah, for sure. And legit, like, if something that, I'm not the leader of this podcast or whatever, I'm just saying, like, if there's something you struggle with, reach out to Sam, myself, anyone, friends. just encourage yourself and know that all people have things going on. Even though it looks on the surface that we have all our stuff together, I promise you I don't, but I want to see those around me succeed. So reach out to us if you need guidance in sales, or whether it's real estate or car sales. You got your first job in a Dodge dealership.
Yeah.
We're here to help. I'm not saying I'm perfect at selling. I'm just saying we do okay at it. So we're here to guide. We're here to help, and maybe we can do this.
We want to serve.
Yes.
We want to serve in whatever way we can.
Right.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
All right, brother.
Dude, bless up.
Love you.
I don't know why.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.